All right. Hello, everybody. It's Jennifer again, and it is Testimonial Tuesday. And I have my special guest with me tonight, Carol Green. And so if we are meeting for the first time, you may be meeting me for the first time. You may have seen me a few times before, but you know that I have a passion to help people sleep better, feel better, and live better through natural health and wellness. One of the major ways I've found that people are finding those things is through a plant, basically, and something called CBD oil. So what I like to do each week is bring somebody on to share how they got introduced to the product, what it's done for them, basically how they felt prior to getting on the product, how they're feeling now. In this industry, once you choose to become a rep for a CBD company, you are then limited as to what you can say when you're a customer. You can say anything you want. You can use disease names. You can tell your story. But the minute you decide to become a rep or an affiliate for a CBD company, you now fall under the umbrella of compliance, which means you can't say disease names, and you can only talk about basically how you felt prior to being on the product and how you feel now. So we're not trying to play charades. We're just sharing compliantly how our journey has been. And I got to say, that's one of the things I absolutely love about this company, is that they have a huge push and a huge emphasis on staying compliant. Most of you who know me, I come from a paralegal background. I was a paralegal in the United States Army, and things like compliance and laws and regulations are very important to me. So I love that this company does that. So last week I did basically a giveaway. I wanted to bless somebody with a sample pack. I want to do the same thing again this week. So if you either comment where you're listening from, if you tag somebody in this video who could relate to the story that Carol's going to share with you, or if you basically just somebody who needs to hear a message of hope, or if you're one of my customers already and you want to comment how CBD oil is helping you, all three of those will get you put into a drawing for a free sample pack for next week. So, and I'll announce that person on next week's Testimonial Tuesday. So without further ado, Carol, the cool part for this is that Carol actually grew up with my husband here in West Virginia. They went to school together. I had never met Carol. I had never met Carol prior to yesterday, so that was actually really cool. We've talked on the phone a bunch. We've talked through video, but we've never actually met. So I got to meet Carol for the first time yesterday. I think basically you started out kind of seeing my posts, and the other cool part is it was a year ago today. It came up in my memories this morning. It's been a year since I ordered the product, and anyway, so just tell us about your journey. You see your high school friend's wife posting about CBD oil, and how did that go for you?
I think it was on his Facebook. He shared it, and I was like, oh, well, if Andy's sharing it, I think I'll pay attention. Oh, that's Andy's wife. Okay, yeah, she's cool. So I looked at it, and I was like, yeah, I can relate to that. If it helps the puppies, maybe it'll help me. And then she was telling me about how well it helps all the symptoms, for other people she's met, or Jen has met. And then, I drug my feet because I was an anti, can I say that W word?
I think you can.
I was no, please don't bring that to me. It's not right. You can't have it. Please get it out of my house. I don't like the smell. It's bad for you. Right. It's killing your brain. When I realized that it's not killing you at all, it's actually recepting your brains, but you don't need the high. So when I listened to Jen shared the love of this plant, and I was like, all of it made sense. It all made sense here. My phone's going off, sorry. But yeah, I had a lot of different symptoms, and they're slowly coming to circle.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit, like, how did you feel like prior to being on the oil, and then how did you feel once you got on the oil?
Prior to the oil, wow, I had racing thoughts, mental confusion. I couldn't focus.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing was when I went to college, I learned how to use big words, but then, boom, my big words were gone. I couldn't even say little words, let alone big words.
Right.
And then I had different problems, like my feet hurt, like they would curl, they started to deform. My feet, like I couldn't feel pins and needles type in my feet. And I couldn't walk straight line. I looked like I was I couldn't walk a straight line. A bad headaches every day, bad headaches, like pain, not pain, but just like a peskiness ache.
Right.
It wouldn't go away. And it would come on daily. It wasn't like it would go away and then stay away for a week or two. This was a daily problem that hit between noon and 2 o'clock every day.
Wow.
And I do have a lot of issues medically. And also, my doctors have taken me off down in Miami. They are awesome about wanting you to be the most natural you can be.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't find that often, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, down in Miami, many doctors were on my side about
Awesome.
stay with natural, do the natural thing. It's working. My discomfort, my stomach, I was having such bad discomfort. I would lay on the couch for hours.
Oh, wow.
Hours. And after I ate, every time after I eat, so I got to the point where I lost weight because I didn't want to eat.
Right.
I'm eating and I gained 10 pounds. But because of a product that we have, I've lost 10 of it.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I gained 10 because, I started eating again, but then I've lost it already because
Beautiful.
of the oil and the other products that we have available.
You're talking about the trim spray, right?
Yeah, the Trim 365. And my mom's trying it now, and maybe we can interview her later.
There we go.
Beautiful. She really likes it, yeah.
So for those of you who are wondering, I'm so in love with the CBD oil. I don't even talk about the nutritional sprays that this company offers. But my husband uses the sleep spray. I tell people, so when he got on the CBD oil, without it, he roars like a freight train. With the CBD oil, he purrs like a kitten.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but then he decided, because I finally bit the bullet and I bought some of the oral nutritional sprays, and they're the same thing. They're high quality. You spray them under your tongue. They're absorbed sublingually.
Right.
Yeah, they do. They've got some really good, what would it be called? Superfruits in them, superfoods.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he started on the sleep spray after I went ahead and bought a pack of the nutritional sprays. And I literally that night I went in to see, to get ready to go to bed. I typically stay up late and I keep working and while he goes to bed because he gets up twice as early as I do. So I went in to go to sleep and it was as if he wasn't breathing. I walked over to him.
You had to put a mirror to his face.
I literally sit there for a minute and thought, oh my God, what's going on? Because he was so quiet that I really thought something happened to him. But it was that he started using the sleep spray. So there's that. There's something called Boost, which I use that in the afternoon. So if I've been busy doing computer work all morning, I'll spray that in the afternoon after my lunch, and it's a natural burst of energy. It's like people
cup of coffee.
Like people use coffee or they do those. What are those?
Energy drinks. Those shots.
Energy drinks. Instead of something like that, this is a natural. Giving you energy, which is awesome. There's an alkaline spray called Shield, so I use it in place of Airborne when I travel now. I'm really big on taking Airborne before I get on a commercial flight, and so now instead of that, I can just keep the Shield spray in my purse and just spray it before the plane takes off.
No more carrying. What was it? What was it? They went through zinc and vitamin C, like cough drops.
Yeah.
And they did like
right.
I'm right with you. I wouldn't want to.
So
sprays are awesome in our family.
Yeah. And they're cool because if you're somebody who has an issue with swallowing, vitamins of any sort, you don't have to do that. You just you just spray them and let them
Spray it.
absorb. And yeah.
I actually put it in the back of my throat. I don't put it under my tongue. I kind of hold it to the side and all the way straight back, and then it kind of dissolves like that, and it goes right in. So it works good.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah,
and I realized really quick that I did not need as much as they say on the bottle. Like with the oil, a little bit goes a long way. I went a whole day without eating. I'm not playing that again. So I had to off on the sprays.
Well, and that's something I love about this company. So like this afternoon, I had a conversation with one of my customers. She bought from me her first bottle like back, I believe it was back in March. I got to look at this now, actually. And she was calling to reorder. It was back in March, and then she won a sample pack from me between March and now. But between the bottle she bought and the sample pack, it lasted from March all the way to August. And it's just because a little bit goes a long way. Yeah, and so
some people just don't need the dosing. Some people do. So you just got to find what works for you.
Can't say dosing, have to say number of drops.
I didn't realize that. That wasn't on my no-no list. I was using the other words I was so worried about. But, I just learned what worked for me. My sweet spot. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can talk about your sweet spot. Explain what it is.
Oh, yeah, it is. It makes my life really sweet.
So in talking about your sweet spot, basically when you start taking the oil, we have you start off really, really low and start with a smaller number of drops, because for most of us, we have not had cannabinoids in our diet. Unless you're older than 82, you've never had them. And so if you start taking a whole lot right away, what happens is it overloads your receptors in your endocannabinoid system. They're called your CB1 and CB2 receptors. So if you start taking too much too quickly, it overloads those receptors. Those receptors then shut down, and you get no benefit from taking CBD oil. So you want to start really low and then just very slowly increase up until you get to the point where you're feeling just a great result from it. And there's two ways it happens. Either you wake up feeling fantastic and you're like, oh my gosh, I found it. This feels amazing. But I find also there's a lot of my customers who, like as an example, a friend of mine named Kat, she lives in Ohio. She's got a real small little dog that got out of her condo complex one day, or townhouse complex. She had to go out and chase the dog and to get it, to bring it back in. Once she finally caught it, she sat down in her recliner and she sat there for a minute and she thought, whoa, wait a minute. I just ran all the way around my townhouse complex and my knees don't hurt and I'm not out of breath. And oh my gosh, I just did that. And if I hadn't been on the oil, there's no way I would have been able to do that. So it's kind of one of the two ways that you figure out that, okay, this is my sweet spot. It's working for me. And, you really start feeling that difference.
That's like my experience. I went to the mall with my husband, and I didn't want to go. I was dreading it because for the past 2 years almost, I couldn't walk past a certain distance. I would be like, okay, time for a break. I got to sit. And then my back would start to ache. And then I would be like, oh, okay, time to walk a little bit. Time to sit a little bit. And I couldn't do anything more than 15 minutes at a time. So I was like, okay, Kevin looked at me and said, I need a break at the mall. And I was like, but I don't. And he goes, I need a break, Carol. You walked me too far. And the malls in Miami are like huge. You can walk 3 miles in one day at one mall.
Right.
Yeah, you go to one mall at a time there. Down here, you might go to 3 or 4 malls around town. Not down there. No, Miami, the malls are so big, you get your walking in one mall.
Awesome.
It was a great feeling. And he was like, yeah, that was stuff that really works. I'm glad you started it.
Very cool.
And, like little different things. I noticed I could walk from one room to the other and I would remember what I went there for. Mental clarity. And I was like, awesome. That is great. Mental, what did we call it earlier? We were talking about that.
Fuzzy brain.
Fuzzy brain, yes. Yes, I went from fuzzy brain to clear brain.
Right.
I called it my momentous adaptation. I use my big college words. So, and then, like I said earlier, I went from sitting on the couch and then I'd be laying and then I'd sit and then I'd get up because I couldn't move. So I couldn't sit any longer, couldn't lay any longer, which meant I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't resting. My whole system was just not doing well. So, every day is a little bit more though. Every day I take it, it's a little bit clearer, a little bit more. And when I used to start walking, when I started walking, I was walking anyway, but I would walk a mile down to my housing complex. And then I realized one day I can't do that. So I quit walking altogether. And I thought, no, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let the doctors dictate to me how much I can walk. So I started out with 5 houses. I counted how much I walked by how many houses I passed on my way. And then I'd be like, well, I made it to 5 today. And then the next thing I know, my mom comes for a visit. And I'm like, hey, Mom, I can walk to 11 today. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I can walk 11 houses up. Can you make it that far with me? So, that's how I judged my distance. But now I'm like, I just go. I go all day. Cool. I'm walking. I'm doing tons of things.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I will tell you this. So it popped up on my memories in Facebook today. It was a year ago today that we decided to order this product to see if it would help Nemo. I have recently we
there he is. He just photobombed you, Jen.
Perfect. He wants food. He wants dinner. But we recently got a Nordic track, and I am absolutely loving working out on it every day. And I can't wait to go do it. I've got no pain in my knees. I've got no pain when I wake up in the morning. I'm using the resistance level where it, gives you a good workout and a good sweat. And I've yet to wake up sore. And I'm back to doing like push-ups and squats and all kinds of stuff that I have not done.
You can use the relief cream. Like when I visited you yesterday, my neck was sore because we're sitting there hunched over the dining table.
Right.
For about 2 hours. You're like, here, put some of this. I put the relief cream, on the neck where it was a little achy, and boom, within 20 minutes, I felt better. Now, everybody, like you said earlier, is different. You may feel it within a few minutes, or you may not feel it like I felt it in about 20 minutes. But that's when I noticed it. I noticed, oh, that's cool. So, and then what was the other thing we were talking about earlier? Like the fuzzy brain to the clear brain. When you have your clear thoughts, you're able to control your body more. So not only can dictate what your thoughts are and your emotions and be more stable that way, but you can also tell, we are going to walk today because I don't feel bad.
Right.
I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do the laundry. I'm going to do the dishes because I don't feel like just laying there because I'm in so much pain.
Right.
You can move and you can go on with life.
What a blessing. And I have to say that is the most rewarding thing about doing any of this is waking up in the morning to those messages saying, oh my God, thank you, Jen, for sharing this with me because I'm able to do X, Y, Z, and I wasn't able to do that before.
I've never thanked you. I should have. I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
I took it for granted. I was like, oh, Andy and his wife are sharing with me. That's awesome, but I never thanked you in return. So thanks.
You are more than welcome. So, and I see we got a few people on with us. So I want to say hello. Oops.
Nemo did too.
That's Nemo. We want to say hi to Teresa, Michelle, Anne Marie. We thank you guys for joining us. And again, I got Andy coming home. That's why Nemo's barking. Anyway, so again, we're gonna do we're gonna bless somebody with a sample pack. I don't have it with me, so it comes with some of the oil. Oops.
I have your sample pack.
Right.
It's in the bedroom though, so.
Right. So it comes with the oil. That's actually Teresa's sample pack. So Teresa.
Yes, it is, Teresa.
She's going to get that to you. So it comes with the oil, and then it comes with 3 little trial packages of the 2 face creams and then the topical relief cream. So again, if you either comment where you're listening from, tag somebody who needs to hear a message of hope, or if you're somebody who's using the oil, share how it's benefiting you. All three of those will get you into the drawing for next week. So is that Teddy behind you?
Yes, he was going to photoball me, but he's too tall.
Well, bend over and say hi, Teddy.
There he is.
There he is. Hi, Teddy.
There we go. Go take CBD oil.
Right.
No, he's still growing, he says. That's what's open anyway.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining me tonight, Carol. Thank you for just sharing your story and being willing to talk about what you've gone through and how it's benefited you. And just thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you back here again next week, and we'll do again the drawing for the sample pack for next week. So